kind of want more volume, but I shouldn't probably.
Just want places you
One more.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Didn't make sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see, so much wrong with taking the back streets. You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, 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 hey now. Could I spare some change for gas? I need to get myself away from this place. I said, yeah, what a concept. I could use a little fuel myself, and we could all use a little change. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. So much to do, so much to see, so much wrong with thinking the backstreet. You'll never know if you don't go.
Or I just have to read one novel. I'll be reading none for now. I need to catch my breath first. Oh goodness. If anything's gonna heal me, it's gonna be dancing. Just keep giving to the dance until the dance takes you. Dance, dance, melt relation. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Don't play. I don't exactly agree with those words, but you got this, dude. And dudettes. You so freaking got this. Who can tell you that you don't have this? Huh? Show them to me. Point to me like this. This person can totally tell me that I in fact don't have this melt. And they would be right in saying so. And I'd be like, is it? Is it sir? Is it? Ugh. I think I'm gonna open some windows. Like I'm uncomfortably hot right now. Oh goodness. Ooh. Yes. That's better. Melida. Melt through thinking and think through melting. Melt through thinking and think through melting. I had this emotionally revealing thought one day during meditation where I was like, life is the thinker, the thought is the living. You know, that life is the quintessential thing that thinks. But as soon as life thinks of something, the living spawns out of that. And it's just about realizing that instead of just being the living, right, alive, you can convince yourself you're alive, right? Instead of just being that, you are in fact this thing that thinks. This whole time, you have been the thing that thinks. And your life inevitably becomes the things you think about, right? That living is the thought of the thinker that is life, that is you. Right now, here in this moment, Meltfest 2024, I see a flower, red on the inside, little yellow petals, ring of yellow or orangish yellow underneath those petals, and then blue rings coming out of them as well. Sending you love, Connor. Nova is here too. Jovan, Brother Kyle, Maxine. So much love to you. Goodness. I can try and catch up with these comments. I'll try it anyway. Dear Isaac is here as well. Cartha, love you. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you for your support as well. I'll thank into infinity to you, for having supported me, dear friend. I appreciate it so much. I can stay. It's this Wednesday, my dude. It is so Wednesday right now. Oh goodness. I'm not recovered yet. I'm using this wall as a heat sink. Take more of my heat, please. Take it, everything. Oh, dancing. Dancing is such great exercise. In my opinion, the best. Because it's so fun. It's so fun. It's just about getting into the groove of it, I really think. You can get into your own head about dancing. Dancing one way instead of another. Dancing doesn't have to be anyway. Dancing just is as life is, Music is one of the highest forms of art because it kind of layers. It layers things together, right? This beat with this hi-hat, with this drum kick, with this melody, with this subwoof bass line, womp, 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 with this, and then it kind of like stacks up on itself, and then you get this rhythm that arises. And the human body's willingness to move to that rhythm is almost, again, the thought you're having as the living, right? Your body Your body is expressing the thought that is, I'm enjoying this music. And there's only so many you can say, yeah, I'm enjoying the music. And then it's like, okay, thank you for telling me that you're enjoying the music. Oh, the music is so gentle. It's so progressive trance-like. It's so this, it's so that. But nothing is gonna quite communicate the love of music like someone absolutely dancing their heart out to it. Major paradox. The infinity, the ultimate major paradox. Thank you, friend, for sending some love to me. I appreciate it. Twaffle. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you for joining me. When it rains, Galabanza. So much love to you. Send our YouTube friends my love. When it rains, it's sending love, YouTube friends. Good morning, Mentolians, the space we share. I'm burning these for sandalwood, solar shower, the planet, and gardenia. Thank you, dear friend, for lighting some incense for us. For the world, thank you, Heather, for joining us too. So nice having you friends here. See you friends have been sending love to one another at least as well. Just 99 subs to go. It's gonna fluctuate probably on 900 for another 900 days. You know, technically a part of Dega is invisibility. And, you know, I've almost, I realized, I don't know if I realized it today as much as I accepted it today. I was like, well, guess this is our fate. This is what we've chosen, I guess. I need to figure out my why. Let me see if I can get more. Melt is very healthy. I'm trying to be. I feel a little bit overweight again because I'm not as light as I was just a month ago, but I'm getting there again. No problem. Thank you again. Major paradox. I like your username, friend. Seriously. Incommunicable paradox. Another meaning of the Dega symbol. Incommunicable paradox. Right? So paradoxical, you cannot even communicate it. For me, one of my favorite paradoxical sayings is, all paradoxes will be reconciled. You know? You're like, excuse me, what the hell did you just say? All paradoxes will be reconciled? No, Melt. A paradox means that it is irreconcilable, yes. That too shall be reconciled. Come at me, philosophers. Hit me up. Be like, no, Mel, you're stupid. You cannot do that. I did Pilates yesterday after a couple of weeks due to my bronchitis. After taking it off a couple of weeks, you guys, my body feels so freaking amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm proud of you, dear friend. Take care of yourself. Move your body. Your body will thank you for it. It's gonna be like, yeah, have some dopamine, have some endorphins. I'm trying to have my parents over for dinner and a movie tonight. Compensation for avoiding homework really helps my attention to other loving areas of my life. It's like, yeah, I could be doing anything else other than this one thing I have to do. I can do all of the other things. You know, maybe that's the real hack. We'll just give people tasks, impossible tasks, and then suddenly, because they don't want to do the impossible task, all of the possible tasks just become infinitely easier. Yes. Brain hacking ourselves. Pressing buttons on the brains. There is no seer and no seen, only seeing. No thinker, no thought, only thinking. Reality is a process, a verb. There is no things, nouns. What do you think? Die often. I like it. I really do. Today's streaming topic, as you see, is like more of a, again, something to pull that mental energy out of you, and I can see it flowing from you freely, dear friend. It's beautiful. I get what you're saying, the process, right? That's what infinity is to me as well. But again, infinity is that continuous thinking, right? The moving of. But if you like superposition it, that process starts to look like two things, two dualities, you know, opposed to each other, a thought and the thinker, right? And the process of these two connecting with each other becomes thinking. Technically, as you said, there is only thinking, but these two come together to create this process of thought and thinker, where again, life as we understand life, to me, is the thinker, and then living, this thing that we're doing right now, is the thought of the thinker, right? That this is the thinking, the active process of it. It's quite a thing. It's beautiful, and yet incommunicable paradox, right? You cannot say it. It's from Back to the Future. Oh, really? I should watch that movie again, actually, or maybe for the first time. I'm not too well watched on Back to the Future, to be honest. Isn't it astounding how much extra weight makes it much more difficult to even move? Yeah, it really does. You know, especially if you're jumping around, but for everything, you know, bending down, picking things up, reaching over for things. Like especially if you're going to do something that requires balance, and then suddenly you have like 2 kilograms of extra weight. You're like, whoa. Hello to you, conscious pig. Soba. Dr. Smacksy, reporting for duty. I salute with you, friend. Thank you for joining me. More curry. That sounds nice. Thank you for cooking for your mom, your dad. Smash Mouth. It's a classic. Cutter. Jeez, imagine listening to that on drugs. I freak out. You are on drugs, friend. The drugs are being produced by your body right now. You know, technically you are the ultimate drug producing machine. Your body is literally just through the few seconds you might have been here have produced trillions upon trillions upon trillions of chemical reactions. It is absurd. It is quite absurd, but it's beautiful. Always a good reminder why Isaac could do the same for sure. Reflection. It's a quick path to self-doubt. Trust and find security that you were growing perfectly. Trust, dude. I've been thinking about trust a lot, interestingly enough, Isaac. Trust. It's been this process of reminding myself that there is trust to be had in the universe at large, as a whole, and also how a certain level of abundance, freedom, security can arise from trusting others, you know, in a way that there has to be a balance as well. Like you can trust others into oblivion, but you can also trust others into heaven, you know, type of vibe. It's a difficult one to surf on as well. It's a good reminder. Meltfest sounds legit. The thought is the creative essence. I'm happy that you're feeling the same. I actually have Melita the stick here. I brought it. I'm gonna go get it quickly. So. I said, yep, what a concept. I could use a little change myself. No, I could use a little trip myself. Is it trip? Space. And we could all use a little change. Well, the years start coming and they don't start coming. My brain is like still on that tangent for some reason. Anyone have any knowledge about what is helpful to strengthen your midsection? Is that your core? Is that a new scarf? Are my questions annoying? Not at all, Heather. Thank you for asking. Scarf is not new. Mom gave it to me a few months ago. Best core exercise that I know? You know, like if you really want a really good core exercise, just basic planks. Planks are really good. You know, you lay on your forearms, you stabilize your core by tucking your tailbone. This, if your back goes like this, and you have your butt here, you tuck your butt in, pull that, and you just do some planks. That's great for your core. I trust that today's lunch will require extra Keyjon seasoning. Is that a joke or something? Or would you just feel like that's how it's gonna be? Does it look unflavorful? Do let me know. Know about Susanna, Lola's here too. I feel like I'm already falling behind and I want to be present, but I also don't want to miss any of the comments. My brain is getting melted. I'm gonna have to figure out how to stop getting melted by the fact that I'm missing comments. My brain is like, you don't dare miss a single comment. My brain is it's not that easy, brain. Please, relax on me. Pure essence of positivity. I'm just a reflection of what you are. Melt, I love your lilac pants. I want that fabric. It's a gift from my mom. Isn't it pretty? Look at how big it is as well. So it actually gives me some breathe room. It's one of my most prized possessions. Gift from my mother. I hope it looks good dancing as well. Thank you, Susanna, for seeing it. There she is. Morning Joy, Joy V. So much love to you. It's so nice to have you here too. Just stick. Freaking stick. Magic wand. And I thought about leaving it. I was like, I'm gonna bring this stick with me. And then I was like, yes, because you're a sentimental. I wanted to add like some sort of degradation term, and I was like, you know what? No, I am sentimental, and that's okay. Trusted lunch, how's your week going? Church of South Africa. It's going well. It's going well. Like I got to apologize to my siblings before leaving, which was nice. Felt good for that because I feel I would have probably been mulling over that over and over again. Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. So I did that, fortunately. Yesterday was very paradoxical, where it was kind of like suckish at the morning, and then it was like really great in the evening. And it kind of drained me for the next day, where I felt a little bit wrecked almost. I'm much smaller than I ever have been, in my mind, too small. On the other side, a few years ago, I'd be jealous of where I am now. I felt worse though, so that's how I know I'm doing better. I feel you, Brother Bear. It's comparison, right? Like you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anyone else. You should just be comparing yourself to your own progress and reminding yourself the time frames, as you do. Making sure you know, hey dude, look, here you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Look at you now. You've made progress. Keep your mind on that. For core strength, I use my yoga ball. My spine has several issues. And this is gentle enough to not aggravate the pain. Great advice. If you have spine issues, try incorporating a ball. Thank you, dear Maxine, for sharing that as well. The scarf is the most beautiful piece of cloth I've ever seen. All of my favorite colors melted together. And the pattern. Do you like it? Like, I feel this is more, I think my mom called it a beach pashmina or something. Like the cloth's a little less high quality, but it is a beautiful one. Has like these parts are the things that like kind of interest me. Like a stitch that was put through it, a normal pattern. I'm happy you like it, Heather. Thank you for the love, dear friend. The paradox of thought. We feel we are the author of thought, yet we just feel a stirring of consciousness, the thoughts arise. So, do we create the thought or just notice it? I believe we just notice it, honestly. I believe we just notice it, but I also believe we have some sort of inkling of control, some sort of, like in the same way you can notice your breathing, right? I might have just allowed you to notice your breathing. Manual breathing activated, right? In the same way you can notice breathing and then suddenly choose to consciously breathe yourself. I feel it might be the same thing with thought, where as soon as you realize you're thinking something that isn't beneficial, that isn't serving your soul, you can just decide not to, at least temporarily, right? You can be like, yeah, sure, I made this mistake, sure, I might have been mean, sure, I might, be feeling this way or another, but I can feel this way, or but I've done this good thing, but I, have this creative project that I'm looking forward to. Just to give yourself some context, give yourself some reframe from that experience as well. And it's almost like the same thing as like moving your fingers. Like you can have these muscle memory things where you can do things without actually having to consciously think about it. And I feel it's the same thing with thought. You can think without having to consciously think about it. And that sounds like a paradox as well. But thank you for asking. It's a fantastic question, Isaac. So I appreciate the fact that you're doing better. Be grateful. This is the way. Freeze the melt freeze. Don't hyper focus on the stress of missing comments melting. You care about this. I do. And I had this thought yesterday. I don't know if it was a dream. It might have been. Might have been a dream, goodness. I was kind of like reflecting, I guess, some of the things we were talking about. And I had this imagination that the future, I'll be able to take these whole streams and turn them into a work of art that would be, and I've shared this with you friends before, but not only a work of art you would be able to experience visually, but you'll be able to experience emotionally as well, where you would be able to feel the things that you friends said, the conversations that we had, the tangents that we went into. And I had this kind of like calm coming over my being, realizing that even if I can't read your comments now, and I can't get to them right now, I will eventually. I'll be able to feel the intent that you decided to share eventually. And I was like, I'm good. Sick of Melody baby, thank you, Cable, for joining me. It's so nice to have you here too, brother bear. Mom's at home healing Shan. That's so nice to hear. I'm happy to hear that, dear friend. My mom also had her checkup. Everything went well. Hope everyone's doing well today. Even better if you're here with us. Thank you, Joel. Work on your breathing technique as you draw each breath slowly. Feel the air into your lungs and then breathe out. Taking a few deep breaths instantly brings you back into the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, allowing you to calm down. You have that power as well. Susanna says, body image is a tough one for my whole family. My dad was very mentally abusive to me and my siblings, calling us fat and chubby and bubble butt. It's really hard to let go of the past conditioning. It really is, and it's something that kind of, in ways where I feel like we're so much far beyond it, and at the same time, it does matter in some way, right? Where if it didn't matter at all, we wouldn't care to do anything about it. But if it actually mattered, then it would have been probably perfect right from the start. And this is my finagling way of like trying to say strong body, strong mind. And that's why I've like shared with a few friends multiple times that instead of being obsessed about the particular shape that you're in, be more obsessed with how strong you feel. I feel that is a much greater measuring stick to your personal fitness journey, other than looking at yourself in the mirror and looking one way or another. How strong you feel should be the real indicator of how healthy you are, in my opinion. And that's any one of us can kind of pursue that goal, to get stronger, to push yourself 10 seconds longer on a plank, or to do one more push-up, to do one more squat, to whatever your exercise of preference is, to dance for a minute longer, to etc., etc., etc. Getting stronger in that way, I believe, is the true measurement that we should be basing ourselves on. And unfortunately, you cannot particularly just look at someone and determine, yes, this person has put in a lot of work to become stronger. I think that's probably where we get stuck. The mind tells itself a story as another person. Christian had this question to me. I wonder what my work colleagues thinks of me. And my answer to that was, I believe they think highly of you, Christian. And he was like, you think they think highly of me? I don't think so, he says. And I was like, well, I can give you two answers when it comes to the question of what does so-and-so think about me. One answer is a little bit harsh, and it goes, what other people think about you is none of your business. That one is one. And the other one is, what other people think of you is technically what you think of you, right? Because if you think other people's thoughts about you negatively, then that is the thoughts for you, what they have about you, right? Whether, like, they could be saying the best things ever about you. And if you believe they're saying horrible things about you, then they might as well be saying horrible things about you, right? Because in your worldview, they are. And it's this, and I was like, bruh, so either you shouldn't care because it's none of your business, or you should be thinking nice things about yourself because that's the only business that you're in. That's the only business you can influence, to say it in such a way. It's nice to have you here too. Gateway process. Ego tells you that you're not enough. Ego tells you that you're not enough because ego knows that you're everything, and ego is something within everything. So if you were enough, you would be everything again, and that's not ego. Yes, Gab good joining us too. Comment box already too busy for my attention span. Gab, apparently me and you both, dude. Apparently me and you both. We're solidarity brothers right now. I like the pashmina. Thank you, Cable. Very cool blue. I'm like actually wearing cohesive colors ish today. I kind of looked like I knew what I was doing. I was like, oh, this outfit is kind of sick. I'm happy that you appreciate it as well. I've been thinking about the conscious space as pliable, Play-Doh-like substance. I feel it feels solid when shaped. When you start to pay attention, the shape softens and contorts. I feel what you're saying, and the imagery it's bringing up in me. Like I had this experience, a psychedelic experience with a bunch of friends. Uh, it was at this camping site, and this experience brought into my mind this torus field, right? But I was seeing the torus field almost being stuck in it, and there was this ceaseless sucking into the torus field, whatever was being put into my mind in that moment. So no matter what I was seeing, what I was hearing, what I was experiencing, it was ceaselessly being fed into itself, and then what I was experiencing was informing what is being fed into, feeds into itself, what I see being informed. So yes, yeah, I like that, Brother Isaac, very cool. I do believe we have more ways to control what we think than we think we do. Our thoughts and breathing, conscious control, yes, exactly. I do believe that as well. I just think it's practice, right? Mindfulness. That's technically where the practice of mindfulness comes in. My life is not my past, but I see the destruction from my past every time I look in the mirror. I feel like that's, in a way, the human condition, right? Because at this point in our existence, the way we are right now, we age, Connor. So, technically, on a metaphysical, physical level, you can literally see your DNA making mistakes, right? That's what aging is. It's your cells not duplicating perfectly. Duplicating in a way where they're showing their age. There's more damage, there's more imperfections, there's more variation away from the thing that you've always been, right? So lean into it, friend, lean into the melting of yourself. Witness these mistakes that you've made, and realize that even though you make mistakes, mistakes are the best way that we learn lessons, always. You cannot learn if you don't make mistakes every now and then. If you were unwilling to make mistakes, you wouldn't be learning anything at all. You'd just be stuck. Like a deer in headlights, right? The beadwork, the emotions that come from the sentiment association of our mama, right? That's the thing for me as well. I have multiple scars. 3? 4? I think 4 scars from my mom alone. That was not English. It wasn't even proper grammar. Nonsensical mush. You get the idea, exactly. That's the way it is, Heather. Can't be present for today. Y'all have fun though. It's okay. Love you, Brother Gab. I feel you, Connor. What I'm hearing is that you are holding on to some expectations of what Connor should be at this point. Yet you are what is this moment, right? Connor, this is something that I remind myself of a lot when I get into my own head. Is that suffering or being unhappy is the want for things to be differently, right? Things are right now, and they might not be as you would like them to be. They might be better circumstantially, things can change, you can do something else. But right now, wishing for things to be differently will only beget suffering. This thing we're saying goes, I have manifested a body in this moment and in this space to learn and to experience from it. How about that, Connor? I have manifested a body, your body, this body, touch your face. This body is mine. to learn and experience from it. Exactly as you are, exactly where you are. Look around you. It's this right now where you are, to learn from it. What are you learning? You've learned a lot, dude. Think about that. So much. I am free. For wherever you go, there you are. No matter what, right? Even as me, I am still you. And again, the whole linearity thing comes back. Maybe in a trillion lifetimes, you'll be me. Maybe you were already me. And now you get to be you. You were me, and we're like, yeah, it's great and all, but how about me now? How about I want to be this me? The thinker and the thought, right? This body slaps up repeatedly. feel a desperate ad to become aware this version of yourself. Thank you for tuning me into the jokes as well. You're doing fantastic, Connor. You're in school pursuing passion, and in this very moment, putting efforts forward into love. Do not look forward 10 steps and worry about tripping over the fifth. Beautiful point. Thank you, dear Isaac, for sharing such wisdom as well. Sotmel. I'm doing well! I'm doing well. I was worried, weirdly enough, about coming into stream today. I was feeling pretty drained. I was like, dragging myself through the day, trying to do busy work. And I was like, yeah, this, how do you say suck? Just sucks so much. I don't really like contributing, is that the word? To fractals that I feel isn't always beneficial. But I know that there is no such thing as perfect good or perfect bad. And I've been trying to have this conversation with my dad as well. My dad doesn't believe in global warming. He doesn't believe in battery technology. He doesn't believe in EVs. He doesn't believe in renewables. And I keep telling him that I'm not trying to demonize you for believing in burning, hydrocarbons and coal. What I'm trying to say is that they serve their purpose. And now we need to do something else. It's not about this is only bad and batteries are only good. It's about picking the lesser of the evils. It's like getting to the most good of the whole, spectrum of things. And there is this extreme resistance, and I guess that's the way it's gonna be for at least now. I'm contemplating a nap as we speak. Yeah, I was contemplating a nap as well. And then before I knew it, the time to nap was disappeared. It was gone from existence. Have a nap for me, Heather. Please, vicariously nap for me. Yeah, it really just turned into destructive coping skills in my teens. Finally, aware of the societal standards. It don't have to be my standards. Everything is relative. If I feel healthy, that's enough for me. Exactly. Thank you for letting yourself feel healthy, dear friend. And health, right, is determined on your mental well-being as well. Like that is something that's big, right? Like I feel if you're not healthy in mind, it's very difficult to be healthy in body as well. This comment is supposed to be missed by Mel. I missed it. Flies over my head. Totally didn't see that one. Separate your ego from telling you that you're not enough, and then shift it into the soil and let it spread. Let the seeds of growth and change sprout. Beautifully said, Brother Bear. I have expectations for myself, and I have fallen short. It's hard to tell if that mindset is holding me down or is the first step towards change. I have been lacking in school, and I know that. Well, it is what you make of it, right? You can either be like, oh, I suck, and then melt deeper into the couch. Oh, I suck so much. Oh, I'm unworthy. Oh, I can't do anything. Or you can be like, oh, dude, I sucked there. Let me try and course correct. Use the goo I've been melted through and then reshape. Get better, get yourself closer and closer to the image that you want to be. You got this, Brother Bear. I believe in you. Look at the next step and take it confidently. If you struggle to feel proud in this moment, feel proud that you know where you are going in the next. I love you, tuners. Oh, hoping your date is awesome. Thank you for the love, dear friend. Cable. Mel, what do you envision when you think of my being? I saw a cliff.
Hello.
Hello, Christian.
It's not Christian.
Hallo, Johan! Wat gaat het met jou? Is dat geweten, hè, dit? Christian, heb je opgemaakt? Ik wil het net zeggen.
I really didn't say my thing.
Hallo. Kom, zit hier langs mij. Johan, Kev. Thank you, dude.
There we go.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank
dude.
you. Ha.
Yeah.
Ha, people.
I've been waiting to light this joint for someone, and that someone happens to be you.
Good. I'm ready.
This joint was rolled for uh, completion? Bruh, yesterday's joint destroyed me in ways that have not been destroyed before, dude. Like you
can't even remember.
Dude, like it was straight up concerning. At one point, I felt like literal like 1,000 mic acid high. I was like, oh goodness, I'm melting. Save me someone. And I still had to do stream. Christian was like, just breathe, drink some more.
That's hilarious.
How are you doing, Yuan?
Oh, dude, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I finished my research. I did some VR work today. And now I want
You
to
went to the
relax.
lab, right?
I did. It was fun.
That's
My rowing sim is getting there. It's just math is hard. Trying to write math for an oar in water and like properly doing the math behind it has been a pain.
Dude, like it's so trippy that you're talking about that. I've been thinking about like, so you know those noise models, right? Where it's like x for every single pixel. So it's like, you know, depending on the grid size times itself, you know, like exponentially. So technically, within an image model, everything in all of existence exists. You just have to figure out where each of those little points are. And
Yeah.
our universe, like today's stream topic is, life is the thinker, the thought is the living.
Where, bro, you just blew my mind with that image thing. I've never thought about that, but in like complete honesty, you just keep flipping bits,
And
and
everything.
everything
Like,
will be exist in
everything-
everything.
Exactly. It's trippy. Like literally every single freeze frame of your entire life, right? What you're looking at right now
Ew.
exists within that model.
You just need to figure out which bits to flip in which order, and you get there. That's like the entire thing that AI is trying to do.
brain melting,
It's
huh?
just trying to work out how to flip bits, bro. That is actually fucking insane. I've never thought about that, but that is so true.
And I wonder if our universe is technically doing that with atoms, dude. Like it's technically a
Well, it
reduced
is.
model.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying,
It
dude.
is though. The way electrons work is they all exist in every possible facet at the same time, and you just that
Collapse.
cloud collapses into a point whenever you look at it.
Bro.
Dude.
Here you are, existing, you know, and we're like, oh, I hate my life. People say to themselves. I've said it. I've said
Me
it.
too, bro.
I hate my life, we say, not realizing that this is the life we chose. Down to the second.
Yo, dude.
It's such a trip.
That's actually insane to me, bro.
Like it's not my idea. Like I saw it in a video as well, dude, and I was like,
Dude, it's the same initial realization I had that you have never had an original thought.
yeah. I mean,
Oh, it's every thought you've ever had exists. You just
Yeah.
found it.
it's like, and it brings this continuity thing into my mind, right? Like for some reason, as human beings, we experience continuity. We were talking about aging a little bit earlier. You look in the mirror, day to day to day to day. You see yourself grow up. You see yourself eventually grow old. So there is this sense like, oh yes, things go in a linear direction in one way. But the fifth dimensional consciousness that exists through us probably exists completely outside of time, having all of time encapsulated inside of it.
Did you by any chance watch a video on like the pineal gland recently?
Not recently, but I've watched my fair share.
Yo, dude, I saw this thing this morning. I was just like a YouTube short or on Reddit or something where this guy was like going down how the pineal gland works. And I can't remember most of it. It's super complex.
The
But he was-
seat of consciousness.
Yo, dude, the seed of consciousness, and he goes into like how the Egyptians had it and how they
Yeah.
drew a lot about it. And then he like starts explaining how when you go into something akin to like a meditative state or something like that, your pineal gland activates, but without any like, how did he say, without you doing anything, things kind of just happen to you. It's the same way when you take DMT and you just, it's you're not doing, but you're existing somewhere that might not be here, but it's bigger. And he's talking about how like that pineal gland is your like center for doing that. And then he was talking about how that releases DMT, and then he ends it and he's like, yeah, I want everyone to realize that this idea that we're linear is horseshit. There's a couple more dimensions. We don't know how many there are. They're all on top of each other. It makes no sense, but they're here. And time is an illusion. It doesn't exist. The moment you like drop out of visualizing time stops being a thing. Thus, nothing is linear.
Incommunicable paradox.
Bro, and I'm like, what do you mean? Wait, nothing is fucking linear. Literally nothing is. Everything is now, and you just like, yeah, dude, like you said, the time makes it feel like you're changing because I'm not as good at this or I'm not as good as that.
Or
but,
I'm better at this.
Yeah, but
Dude, it breaks my brain a little bit, man. You know, and especially since we're so young. Like, kind of coming to these type of conclusions and kind of building on that model of ourselves. Like, there was this beautiful TED talk where this dude was talking about 11-year-old version of himself who broke his ankle playing soccer. He limped home, pretending not to be hurt because the next day he was going to go and see a movie about soccer, and his parents would take him to the hospital the next day instead of the movie.
Ew.
They go outside, they see it's nice weather. The dad's like, oh, nice weather, let's walk to the cinemas. 2 kilometers. Oh, this dude.
They hobbles. Dude, with
Hobbles.
a broken
With
ankle.
an actual broken ankle. He watches the movie about soccer, finishes the movie, tells his
His
dad,
daddy.
I'm dying. They take him to the hospital, he gets help. Literally, he says, fast forward 10 years, he's a research scientist. And he mentions that if his 11-year-old version of himself had to see that version of himself, he would be so disappointed. Because that 11-year-old version of himself wanted to be a
Yeah.
professional soccer player.
Mhm.
In his worldview, that is his ideal and ultimate future. And to kind of like take that as an understanding about how the way we are right now, that you don't know what you will know, and what you will know in the future will determine of who you want to be. And
Mhm.
this version of yourself, he had a friend mentioning that he's too hard on himself, and he feels like this version of himself that he is right now isn't up to standard, right? And to kind of communicate that point that this version of yourself that you are right now doesn't know enough.
Yeah, literally.
And you're still getting to know who you want to be, and it takes time. It takes time. And again, coming back to the point of being, and if you're younger than 80 years old, you're still young.
You're so young, bro. And like the thing is though, and this is something that I found very interesting, is that your amount of knowledge is not directly proportionate to the time you spend on the planet. You can ramjangle a bunch of shit into your head. Holy fuck. I try and think about how much shit I have in my mind. Just random horseshit. Memes alone.
Jeez.
The amount of memes that my brain just keeps stored at all times.
It has like almost, I feel emotions in memes these days almost.
Yeah.
Where I'll feel a certain emotion and then a meme pops up to kind of articulate.
Because it's
how I'm
such a
feeling
good
right
way
now.
to articulate what you're doing. And I still, the one thing I've been tripping out recently about, and I do it every so often, is the thing that Terence McKenna said, where he says that the universe is actually not like numbers, but it is syntactical. You describe what the universe is, and the more you describe it, the more you can see.
Dude.
And like,
Ooh.
and he's like completely fucking correct.
Dude, so again, like coming back to that whole image model, that's what they say you have to do. Like language is the best interface to kind of get those pixels to show you what it is you want to see.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my.
And then like everything,
tripping out, bro.
even the binary we've made is just a model to syntactically explain what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Math, everything, everything. And that is mind blowing, that you're just, by the more you can talk about something, the more you can understand it, and the more you can describe it, it's a super cool thing. And also something to come back on about the like time flow. There's actually this really nice saying that's in one of Bablas's songs. And it's something like memories are like the wake of a ship. It tells us where it has been, but it does not drive the ship. And that was something that's also very intriguing, because like you said, you have this model of what you think you're going to be in the future, and you're basing it off of what you have in the past because it's all you have. You don't have the future. You can't even predict what's going to happen in like the next nanosecond. And because of that, it's so intriguing to remember that even though you have all this past to rely back on, it means diddly squat in the future. It literally means nothing.
Dude, like it's bringing up this article I read recently. You know, scientists were like, basically boils down to we're experiencing a memory right now. that reality as you're experiencing it is in fact the memory. It's a very current memory.
But it's still,
It's like microseconds memory. Yeah.
which is I had the same fucking thought. I don't remember what I was driving, but I remember, like, even the distance between this phone and us right now, I'm still seeing the phone a couple nanoseconds behind what it currently is. It's like, it's not perceivable to us, but it's there. It's in the like infinitesimally small nanoseconds, but it exists. And that's also fucking trippy, that you've never ever seen something as it is.
Another instance of yourself, dude. Like, and technically now you're a different version of yourself,
Mhm.
looking into the past again, as you mentioned. And we were having this conversation yesterday about being real life jesters. You know, where if I was like the full capacity of jester that I can be, I would probably be walking through like a festival grounds, see someone looking at me, suddenly transform into this hyper techno, dancing for this person, and then in an instance, bloop, transform back into myself. And then just like this person is like spazzing
What
out,
the
trying to
fuck
show
just
other
that-
people.
what
It's
the
like,
fuck just-
and then I was like thinking about like the digital future we're going into. You'll actually be able to do stuff like that, where it'll be like literally a switch, and then you transform, and then switch again, you transform back to
Yeah.
yourself. But technically, within the digital realm, it's possible to have perfect memory, where you
Yeah.
could technically rewind and see, oh yeah, I saw what I saw, but we would probably code into that as well the ability to forget.
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude.
And
What
I-
would
and
be the
it-
point with that?
Exactly. And as soon as I was like, as I realized that, I was like, why? Like forgetting is a big part of this reality, actually.
Yo, dude, I love just the slider that you have in your head. You're like, how much do I want to remember? 73%.
Exactly, dude. And not only that, but imagine actually tailoring. What's the word? Editing your memories, dude. Imagine what that's gonna do.
Yo, no, dude, you know what I think is more trippy than anything? Is going to be actually remembering things for how they are.
Dude, perfect memory.
Bro, like I think
Perfect
you don't
recall,
need,
perfect
Yeah,
recall.
you don't need to have perfect memory,
Yeah.
but the ability to what you want to remember it to the T. Like I think back, even our conversation a couple seconds ago, I can't remember the exact words we said. It's gone. It will never ever come back, and that's a very intriguing thing.
Technically, the
Yeah, the
computers
computer
remember
remembers. We
now.
can see what we did, but that's what I mean.
But
We
like,
can use
I
this.
feel, as you mentioned, right? It's gonna be like, as soon as you connect, I think Christian is here. As soon as you connect with, I want to remember this thing, it's just going to again self-reference. Christian!
Johan, you son of a bitch.
Christian!
I got here before you skew.
Yeah,
I'm
slow.
trying to call you to ask you to help my ass. Real men do it in one trip, and your boy went to have to do it in one trip.
Sorry.
I'm happy that I didn't light this yet. I've been waiting to like set a proper intention with you, friends.
Oh fuck, bro! I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Christian. We've been in the thick of it, talking about all of the thanks. Donkey, Prince of Provisions, Savior of Sustenance. I appreciate it, Christian. Of course, Greg, it's nice to see you, dear friend. So much love to you. Sam, so much love to you. Hunter, long time no see. Kelly's here too. Love you, dear friend.
Also to Greg,
Triple four.
that said he liked your buddy. I appreciate it, bro.
We like you too.
We like you too.
You're one of our buddies. We only hang out with people we like. Now Christian is here. Christian! Tell us, lament about the corporate world and how much it sucketh.
I'm not in corporate yet.
How much
Oh.
it sucketh.
You're working for one of the biggest online teaching places in
In
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
That's
Where
corporate
education
education.
practically doesn't
Did he
exist.
ever? Oh yeah, you were there when with him being my sister's like head.
His
of-
sister studies at the place.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Like he's the head developer for the place my sister studies, which is what the fuck are the odds?
What a
bro?
Hey,
guy.
developer, bitch, I'm team lead.
He's team.
I'm sorry.
Like
I'm
he has
sorry,
head
Mr.
developers
Team Lead.
underneath.
Hey,
him.
yo, fuck you.
Let's smoke for Christian. You know, Christian is doing great things. He's gonna continue doing great things.
Stop.
I'm so proud of my best friend. You know, he's so great. Oh, you're so awesome, you. I see him
I
cringe.
dropped my pants.
There we go.
I bent over.
His dad has this thing where if you compliment him, he's like, "What? You want me to drop my pants? Huh? You want me
That
to bend
sounds
over?"
like Pop Troll.
That's so pop chop.
That's so Pop Troll.
Entertaining ideas about
Coming
necessity,
with us,
accepting
yeah.
them as canon. You know, I agree.
Oh
Like,
shit.
I think
Already Friday vibes, bro.
I think it's a Stoic quote, Jovan, that goes, "It is the mark of an intelligent mind to be able to entertain an idea without accepting it." And I
Yeah.
was like, that's nice.
So, entertain my friends.
You're pretty smart though.
Don't accept it.
You're very smart.
You are pretty
There's a quote from someone I forgot. You. What is that? some greenery is growing.
It's a very nice greenery.
I still haven't lit in this joint actually, that I feel very stoic as well. It's only because I'm scared of it.
Dude, I'm high as fuck right now. I
Terrified.
haven't had a single thing to smoke today, but I am so.
This space does this to me, dude. I'm pretty serious.
Hi, Dad. Where the fuck have you been? It's
Where's
been
the-
11
Where's the
years.
milk?
Where's the milk, Dad? No, you big brain. Is that your boy Marcus Aurelius? I think it's either Marcus Aurelius or it is.
Your boy Marcus Aurelius.
It's our boy. He's the Emperor King. No. The Philosopher King, dude. That dude was the most powerful man on planet Earth while he existed, and he was existing throughout a plague. He was betrayed. Think people were just dying in the streets. He was taking wealth from the
There
wealthy.
was a more disappointing son out there in the planet, bro. Fucking Commodus. Just fucking prick.
Bruh, and he didn't kill him, he was like, nah, like, just don't do that. Stop it. It's like, just imagine how stoic you have to be. Instead of like killing your rival, he's just like, no, stop it.
Stop it. We
Stop.
don't do
Stop doing
that.
that.
Yeah.
That's how he handled it. Are you guys having wine and cheese party again soon? Huh, Christian?
Yo, dude, we know.
Bro, give me money, I'll give you wine and cheese party.
Christian, Prince of Provisions, Savior of Sustenance.
I'll.
Bro, how the cockroaches been, huh?
Yeah, they've been alive.
Yo, dude, same at my place.
Same.
It's just.
I think it's the
dude.
weather, dude. Like, it's so much more moist in South Africa than it's ever been.
Yo, dude, it's been pissing rain
Yeah.
here. Holy.
Not as much as it should.
You never finished
With
envisioning
our water
what might be
restrictions, bro, you better
holes.
hope it pisses some more.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying. I see a tree of life now, Nova. You are everything, dude. You're everything. What are you? Oh, thank goodness. You
What the fuck are you doing?
I see him holding a can of bug spray. The next thing I hear is him just spraying things into the atmosphere. And I see him spraying at least good smelling stuff. I was
that
like,
smells so good.
my brain was so offended for a second.
I was like, bro, what are you doing? I was not gonna do anything.
This is like, let's kill everything. Skip the cheese, get more wine. Like, I'm not too into the wine
Why are my
anymore.
dishes not washed, Christian?
Christian, because I've been trying, I actually managed to get a shop online, dude. I officially have an online shop.
Nice.
You're so cool.
Yeah, I'm so freaked
You're
that I
my
hate
hero,
it.
Christian.
You know how much I hate it, dude? Like, I was like, this is killing my soul. I can feel the corporate world trying to suck my... Dude, like the amount of hoops I had to jump through so that they can know exactly who I am, dude. They took my ID, they took my location data. They were like, if you make any money, we'll know and we'll come for it. And I'm like, thank you.
Yo, dude, there's been a like I fully understand that. It's something that's so like I want to call it sad because there's no solution to it. It's just the amount of bureaucracy that everything takes. There are so many humans, dude. We like to do anything. Like, so the interesting thing I ran into, my internet's been giving me a lot of trouble.
Same here.
Yo, dude. Bro, it's been, with this load shedding, our infrastructure is falling apart. So I did some like ping tests and I saw that it is the fiber. But before that, I called the guys and I'm like, yo, please, can you come out? They're like, no, we need you to do this. I jumped through the hoop. They're like, the guy that I was talking to leaves me alone. I have to call somebody else. He's like, jump through that hoop. I'm like, cool, I jumped through the hoop, dude. And like, the worst part about it is I'm not illiterate at computers.
No.
But they need me to jump through the hoops because otherwise they don't have the legal stuff to do. It's such
The
a...
Wi-Fi issues is probably due. The slowness is probably due to some of the DNS servers going
See,
down.
but the thing is though,
And
it's
the bounce is.
It's
getting
not, oh, maybe. The thing is though, my speed is fine. I just dropped like 5% of all my packets. Which,
That's a lot of packets.
that's a lot of packets,
Especially if you're trying to
dude.
play online games.
Yo, dude, that's what's been killing me. And coding. How do you do API calls when your
Oh.
internet's down half, like, when you're losing 5%
Yeah, you're just
of
losing
all of
packets.
it?
Because then you're like requesting and then like, oh, something's broken, and
It's
then you
like-
try to fix something, and then
Catch
it's
us
just your
roasted.
internet.
Yo, dude.
Oh,
Try
man.
catch.
Yeah.
Try
so-
catching it around your API.
You're hanging with us.
With timeouts.
What's
You
the
just-
Sorry for interrupting. What's the intention? You said one.
Comfortability.
So decent.
Yeah, whatever.
I think comfortability is a good one.
Comfortability.
To being comfortable. I'm gonna take like
Is that a
pause
word?
or something. Comfortability.
Isn't it comfort?
Comfort, comfortable, the comfortability
I've not.
of your
I
environment.
feel like it's a word. If it's not, I just made a word.
Comfortability.
If Shakespeare can do it,
And
so
dude,
can
if you can make up words, what do you mean? As long as you describe it to people and people know what you're talking about, you're
Well, fuck
talking
me,
about.
it is a
Comfort ability.
countable and uncountable plural comfortable synonym of contentment, ease. Sure. Okay. I don't think it's a real.
Christianity.
The
Factual,
ability
yes.
to be chill as fuck. Yes, bruv.
Chris, people are asking about your love life.
What?
People are asking about your love life.
Oh man, my love life is booming,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
He's
I've
so
got
love lifing right
so
now.
many virtual girls on my dick. It's insane.
He has like all of the waifus at the same time, you know? Like all of the people who made waifus, their waifus left them for Christian.
All the
Bruh.
beach.
Imagine that, dude. Your waifu leaves you for another guy, dude. Like that would be the devastation.
Yo, dude, you coded the perfect life for it. She looks at you, she's just like.
Yeah, yo, love life, non-existent right now. Won't be existent for a long time.
He's living in solidarity with me. He's like, oh, that's why he's doing it.
Yo, dude, I've been watching Chainsaw Man, the new
Yeah.
anime.
Is it
Bro,
good?
it's so good. But
Really?
How many times did that guy get kicked in the balls?
Yo, dude, he got fucking. But no, dude, the thing that's been hitting me the hardest is the dude just been like, I just want a woman.
Dude,
Please.
Blake like just do anything for
Anything.
The actual
dude.
chainsaw man?
Yo, dude, anything.
He's a simp.
It's a super simp.
He's a super simp.
Yeah, but he like
the chainsaws come out of his face. Oh,
out of
And
his
his
face
hands.
and his hands.
that's a lot.
Dude, anime is
It kind of
nuts.
gives me Devil May Cry baby vibes. Oh.
Devil May
Dude,
Cry
a
Baby.
little bit actually.
That's what it's called, though.
Yeah.
Devil Man Crybaby.
Devil Man Cry baby.
Devil May Cry is a different.
That's
thing.
true. Devil Man Cry baby. Well, that anime messed me up a little bit, dude.
It messed me up as well, bro. What a freaking way to just end something. So mean.
It was an experience, I guess.
Oh, dick boy.
Comfortability. Wees gemakkelijk. Embody the comfort. Be the comfort being.
Yeah. The melt.
I had this weird trip of this train cutting through infinity, and every single time it would cut through infinity, the cavity it would leave behind it was a different version of infinity, and then it would cut through that infinity, and then it would be, and I was like, this, please, my brain, it doesn't understand what it's seeing.
Yo, dude, it's been such a wild journey for me these past couple weeks with doing uni work, because I've been doing a bunch of neural network and stuff like that, and holy fuck is it interesting to try and design a brain
Oh
that
my.
can do things. Dude, we're currently trying to do there was this project way back when in like 2015 that the US government put out for military airplane classification. So basically you get like a drone footage shot of an airport or something, and you classify what image, what planes are in there and how many. So it's like for recon work and stuff like that. But that was solved way ago. So they were like, cool, here's a project for it. Do you know how fucking hard it is to teach a computer what a plane is,
You
dude?
know how hard image processing is on
You
its
don't-
own?
Dude, okay,
You try
image-
to teach it instead of just giving it the data?
you give it the data and you're like, cool, I need you to find the planes in
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah.
And basically you build a net that takes the image and then it breaks it into shapes, or like into big broad shapes. And wait, no, sorry, the other way around. It starts and it breaks it into the smallest shapes it can, and then it builds those shapes up and up and up and up.
And it has values for them.
And then it has values, and it tries to basically work out, if I take a triangle and I put a cylinder and then I put another triangle and a triangle, that's a plane. But if I put a smaller triangle at the front, it's this type of plane. Like we don't really appreciate how complex.
dude.
Dude, do you know how quick our brain does everything?
Dude, like,
Dude,
and
it's
we're
been-
ceaselessly running those algorithms.
like
dude.
I was sitting doing like looking at the planes, and I'm trying to teach the AI that, and it's like 10% accurate. And I'm looking, I'm like, there's a plane, there's a plane, there's a plane, there's a plane. It's these types of planes instantly done, less than seconds.
Like it's an instant recognition, like, oh yeah.
Bro,
Oh yeah.
how our brain, like, so there's this with the new advancements in neural net. Basically, as the deep learning is this idea that instead of having a node, a hidden layer, and an output node, so you have input, some mathematical function, and then an output node, and that's trying to work it out. What they're trying to do is they're trying to break it up into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, like the way your brain works. Because what I recently learned is that it's super cool. Your brain is really easy to image at the top. Like, that's why your cerebral cortex and things, it's really easy to work out what they mainly do.
Yeah.
But the moment you get into the mush of neurons,
It does a lot of
there's
things.
like, if you imagine the way weights work in a neural net, where each like node has like bunch of weights offered to other nodes, that's the same way your brain works. But instead of
thicker nodes at the bottom and then more specialized nodes.
But instead of that,
trippy.
it's all working off electrical current and
right.
fat. And now you have to try and image fat and electrical current in something you can't touch or you kill the person. No, dude, our brains are crazy.
Do you think it's gonna be a self-informed thing, dude? Where, like, instead of trying to image our brains through, like, machinery, we'll image our brains with themselves. You know? Like, as soon as we figure out BCIs, like, the top layer neurons could communicate in a way where it could inform, like, positioning of other neurons in the whole system. Like, put it up another properly.
Also good.
Getting weird anime DMC Devilman Crybaby. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much weird. I wouldn't recommend you watch it.
And what?
Not
Okay,
Not
watch
long.
it with the knowledge that it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
You know?
Watch it going in and be like, this is gonna be a fantastic. You're gonna get kicked in the nuts.
yeah,
It's
like
It's
like I
weird.
you know, like kind of coming from the perspective of you become what you observe, right? You're gonna observe some things that you
But-
probably don't want to become. Let me say it in that way. Maybe that's a good thing, right? Like seeing something, you can be like, I kind of like not being that heck.
That is exactly that's why I love anime, because anime is weird as fuck. And I really enjoy seeing that aspect where you just look at somebody's brain that they just put on a paper, like on a thing, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? Where and how did you think up about this? And man, I love it. I love it.
Dude, communication. Christian, we were talking before you came here that an image model, right, it can have pixel variations. And then you can basically have the amount of differences in a certain color spectrum as an infinite value. And then infinite values on top of the infinite values, right? So for any box of an image, there's more possibilities. Something like, you know, like I'm visualizing
It's
the number
it's
set,
depending
right?
on the size.
The
of
amount
image.
of atoms in our universe doesn't even get to a fraction of how many possibilities there can be in that image. So in that single box of noise, technically, all of existence exists. Every single freeze frame,
Yeah,
of your
it can.
entire life exists within that model.
Dude, that like the idea that every image is just an order of bits, and if you have 8 bits per pixel, and you do some math on the 1980 by 1920 by 1080 image, that's a fuckload of possibilities. I never thought about that. That's a fuckload of possibilities that
Never
image
thought
could
of
be
it that
in.
way.
Dude,
It gets you closer to the understanding of infinity again, dude. That's why I like
Yo.
it though. That's why I like thinking about shit like this. Like, yes, expand brain, think bigger,
think bigger. And more.
right? Because I feel like that is what helps you live successfully, you know? And successful means something different to every single person. But if you don't know what it is you want, if you only think that this is what's possible, if you think bigger, then you're like, oh, sure, this is what's possible, but also all of this is what's possible.
Mhm.
Also all of this, you know, and then it goes into every single direction. And wherever you find yourself on that spectrum is where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you know that, the more you get to have going into the future, dude. It's a matter of information exchange and language again. In that model, language is how you get to those places.
Dude,
You say it.
I find it so incredible how you can just like alter the way you talk about things and they like completely become unfathomable. It's so easy to take something and just go into as small and easy to understand as you can, but when you like just speak a little bit of what's happening there, it starts breaking apart. Have you seen the new Kirby's Art video?
New? How new?
The one about the like smaller and smaller
Yeah,
you get.
yes,
Holy fuck!
So
dude.
beautifully done.
What?
It broke
Dude,
my brain.
Into quantum foam.
Quantum
Just
foam.
starts to exist.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so
Crazy.
crazy. And then,
The viscosity of just the world
bro,
in that scale.
same. I was like, bro, imagine you fly not because you're beating your wings enough, but because you're swimming through
You're like
air.
pushing yourself through something. Like
Yeah.
imagine just stairs
These
generate
wings are-
underneath.
That's why they're not like bird wings. They're just
Dude,
like,
and it makes imagine
more like
like
paddles.
imagine trying to explain that. Remember we had the old thing of we couldn't explain how bees could fly. Mathematically, we couldn't understand how you could have those size wings and fly. And now we're like, yeah, no, the air is actually just way thicker for them.
And we explained it.
Yeah.
We were like,
Oh, dude, fucking
there
what?
goes the mystery
Dude,
of life.
When they went into the whole, like these crystalline blocks, these cells, you know, in like a blade of grass. I was just imagining like seeing these actual crystal jewels at that scale, you know, like being able to like just be an eye, you know, ceaselessly moving through these things, just being able to zoom in, go in looking at the architecture of the universe, dude.
Ew.
Oh, dude. I would just get lost, forever just looking at things. Wow.
I
Look at how beautiful
downloaded this.
is. Wow, so gorgeous. Wow. Hopefully we can take each other with. Like, dude, oh my. That's what's gonna happen, isn't it?
You're gonna go explore with people.
You can do it in those image models.
You just gotta take, the most amazing thing to me is that we can just take pictures of it.
Yeah. You can go on that adventure together.
Yeah.
Like flying through a spaceship.
Dude, do you know what's gonna be the most insane thing? So there's
That's
this
the
new-
train of infinity, dude. Slicing through new infinities, seeing new infinities, inside infinities. Oh, it makes sense now. Now it
I'm
makes
very
sense.
happy it makes sense, bro.
Connections.
Dude, what I can't wait for is I don't know if you've seen the new tech that in mostly that iPhone's now made. It's not made by iPhone, it's on the App Store, but it uses their LiDAR to do 3D scanning. You literally just like click and take
Walk around
pictures,
something.
take a bunch of pictures around it, and it does like an almost perfect model that you can pull in. Imagine you're just like, you know what we're gonna do? Just take like 150 pictures of the cell and like just build it into a
And-
3D structure and you can
then
explore it.
You can like do that, and on top of that, as soon as you teach the model what a certain cell looks like, or what a cell looks like in general, it will be able to make those high definition informed decisions about every single cell that it is. Like, that's really cool, dude.
Dude, it goes like it just keeps going.
Science begets more science, begets more science.
Dude, I adore
We
it.
learn through our new tools that we made through science.
So we
learn more about science.
I-
down the rabbit hole we go. Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
It's also been such a journey on my research report because like trying to work out to teach an AI better than a human can, I can't yet. It's
Dude,
like
it's software too.
yeah,
right?
it's like 50% of the way there. For some of them, it classified better than humans, but those were really easy data sets. Like everything's like the smaller the data set and the easier, it's really easy. But what I've learned is that it is very difficult, and there is a lot to it. But the point I was trying to make was that I have managed in my tiny ass computer on my lonesome motherfucker have managed to beat a pre-trained classification model with my model. And that alone means that imagine what you could do with a couple $1 billion. And like I read something the other day, the first time Google decided that they wanted to try deep learning, they used a neural net with 1 billion nodes.
Yeah, our GPUs have that now.
And they were, dude, yeah, but 1 billion nodes, like the amount of process, they used 180,000 CPUs.
Oh my! That is
With 17,000 GPUs, bro. And I'm just like, well, no wonder you can do these
Yeah,
things.
let's start here.
So now,
I wonder what the main Google server architecture looks like.
I don't want to.
The software architecture or the actual architecture?
Like hardware.
Dude,
Dude, it probably looks like spider webs throughout the country at this point, dude.
Yo, dude. It's crazy to me. So like if I can do that, my little useless like setup, imagine what you could do with that.
Dude, so this is the question that's coming to my mind. When do you think it will be accessible to normal people?
Yo, dude, a couple of years, maybe 50 or 60 to 70 years. Like it needs to be long enough. There's two things that is either going to happen. Either it's just going to become cloud-based, which is
Oh,
very plausible. I mean, with Nvidia's new like live streaming games, I mean, if you can live stream a game in 4K and do all the processing in your backend and
Get it to 60
and get it to 60 FPS, dude, do you know how much data you are
You know what my
transferring?
issue is, dude? That's all well and good when you know your data set, right?
Yeah,
But what if you had a spanning search engine?
a
That search
reinforcement
engine
learning.
is a whole different kind of fucking algorithm, dude. Because the brain, that's something that is phenomenal about the brain, is you can just think about a cat and boom, cat pops up in your mind, right? But if a cat is, for example, stored down the search queue, beyond the cache in some other storage in the middle server of fucking nowhere.
That's a good point, dude.
And you have to find.
Yeah, first of all,
Dude.
you've initiated the search by typing cat. Cat hasn't been typed in the past
So-
trivial searches.
Now you're getting at something that, like, is like again the turtles on turtles thing, right? Instead of trying to figure out where that cat is, you get at something larger than that, dude. Like there's these like almost like hierarchical data knowledges that come like that's where the whole Jungian theory comes from as well.
Yeah.
That there are these larger archetypes to all of these smaller little things that you do in your life as well.
It's what indexing is. It's
Mm.
what we use to like break things apart. And like the best example I have of it, it's called a tree, but it's spelled THREA, I think. I don't remember, or a tress or something like that. But it's basically how they do word recognition. You basically start and you do like an A, and then you do no, because what then happens is you do an A and then you do B, D, E, whatever the value, the next thing in possible words can be, and then you just keep going down until you get like a giant tree structure that holds all the possible words that start with A and then runs through. And that's basically how indexing works. You just take it backwards. So like cats is made up of felines, which is made up of this, and then you could like branch down at an exponentially lower processing cost. But the problem he's talking about is that memory, like we have a like hardware limitation.
Yeah, right.
Like if you need to like actually go find something stored on a main memory in a server that hasn't been touched in 1 trillion generations, dude, that server is slow. That thing, it has no indexing. You're not wasting the processing time keeping that. That's such an interesting problem to try and solve. It's like hardware limitations as well.
It's what the international like mainstream companies are dealing with on a daily basis.
That's the real problem.
That's
right
a
now.
massive problem.
It's literally hard.
Is it going to be machine learning as well? You know, like you're basically going to have to do some sort of, this thing's going to have to know itself in the same way a human knows itself.
Yeah.
How many products do you think exist on the Amazon server, or how many videos do you think exist on YouTube at this point?
Yo, dude, there once I read a stat that said there's 3 hours of YouTube video uploaded every second. So if you
I
wanna,
was expecting more.
I was way back. It was like in 2010 when I heard that.
Just
but
imagine-
like, just that value. Like if you how quickly that grows fucking out of
Where do you
control.
think all of that shit is stored, dude?
And it's not just text. It's fucking videos,
It's
dude.
video.
It's gigabytes upon gigabytes. Like
Just
something,
Estian's videos.
yo, dude.
It's ones and zeros though, right?
Yeah, it's ones and zero, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
you gotta store
change.
those ones
It
and zeros
doesn't
somewhere.
change the actual. Like,
That's
so-
gotta be written somewhere.
So I remember reading hearing this thing where these guys were talking about storing stuff on on DNA, because DNA is incredibly good at storage. They did an estimate that you could store the entire internet on
Strawberries.
on like literally a strawberry's DNA, dude. What the fuck, bro?
Yep.
It's the next most efficient storage medium.
We're gonna
People
need
have
it.
been researching.
Dude,
Yeah.
but imagine giant bio data centers, fully alive.
We start
That-
respecting our trees a lot more.
Dude,
Again,
but though-
we could
but
literally code into
4.5
trees.
It
though.
goes like imagine. The problem is that DNA is then different. So what's gonna happen is you can have a
Start
living.
self-evolving.
You have a living DNA data bank that could actually know itself like
Yes,
your body knows
exactly.
itself.
Pornhub just turns into a bio version of Freddy Krueger and starts haunting people.
Dude,
Dude, how crazy? Cause like your
It's
body,
beautiful.
dude, it's absolutely
It's
like
life
that.
finding new ways to make life.
That dude, that is
exactly.
true symbiosis,
turtles
dude.
and turtles. It is this constantly. I don't understand if it's competition, if it's striving, if it's acceleration.
Dude, we're
if it's
creators.
momentum.
That's our entire archetype is we create
Mhm.
shit. We like making new shit.
Dude.
We don't know why, but we're so fucking in love with making new shit that
Dude, but
like we
it's-
get tired of the new shit we make, so we make newer shit.
Dude, it's so insane. Like we're like, yeah, this is sick. I'm bored of it, and then
And then we like, oh my god, we did it. Okay, what's next?
Dude,
Yeah.
video games have shown me that the best. I have over 180 games in my library. I have played like
That's a lot.
27. It's been accumulating for 12 years, so like it's been a lot. But like you don't have the attention span, dude, to sit down and do things over
Dude, the
and over
amount
and over
of
and over.
hours I've spent on video games, surely it's like a year.
A
Sure,
year is
maybe
quite a
some
lot
more.
of time, dude. I think if-
1/27th of my day.
1/27th of your day. That's like 40
27
minutes.
years old.
Oh, you mean like
Let's call it 1/27.
so if I remember correctly, this is based off some very good. I think 3 months is 1,000 hours.
Yeah, I think that sounds better.
I think that's like if I'm doing like things. So like for 3,000 hours, 4,000.
We
I
can do the
see
math
that.
pretty easily. You
We're
have a
just
cell
way too
phone
lazy.
close
I'm
to
just
you.
not doing it.
I wish I had a calculator in my brain.
It's in my pocket, but
Perfect
I'm
math
just lazy.
The point is, you didn't play like games like Dota or Warcraft. We like grinded 1,000 to 10,000
Yo.
hours in a game, dude. Right?
No, I think the most I've played was like Assassin's Creed, Monster Hunter.
But then it's like 100-hour games, right?
No, that's
No.
like 700, 800. Yes.
I've played like all of them multiple times.
Yeah, so my like hierarchy goes League just because.
Johan, I swear to God, if you can get my hands on some fucking Assassin's Creed Valhalla cracks, I will kiss you.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Easy. I already know where to
I've
find
found
it.
so many.
Do you know how long that game is?
No.
The first playthrough will take you roughly 180 hours.
It's a story.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
a rather story.
Dude, and I'm like,
I
good
think that's
luck.
one thing I really despise about some games that exist now. It's like, dude, just please get the story across.
That is, dude, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
mean, that's the work you're paying for, though.
It's gonna
right?
be, it's
Bro,
gonna
do you know
be.
how difficult it is to fill that content?
Yo, dude, that's still all the complaints I've ever heard about it. Say it's a fantastic game that goes on for way too long. So, I like go and play it for the Vikings, dude. It's like the reason you play Black Flag. You don't play Black Flag for the Assassin's. You play it because it's the best pirate game that exists.
It is the best pirate
And
game.
so-
So everyone listening out there,
Go play Black Flag if
is
you haven't.
It's an amazing game.
It's an amazing game. Yeah, that and like Valhalla does that well. The Greek one does the Greek well. So
Let me
like,
say I enjoyed Origin. I enjoyed a lot.
mm,
Origin was fucking amazing. It was beautiful.
Have you guys played The Witcher 3?
Yes.
Nova.
Who hasn't played The Witcher 3?
Yeah, who hasn't played? I agree. Did you guys see Henry Cavill pulled out?
Yeah.
What? What?
They wanted, apparently, this is what I was also in
He's
the
busy
Reddit
playing-
comments. Someone's like, what's happening?
Because
Crawling
he's
through the
playing
Reddit
World of
comments.
Warcraft.
No, listen to this, dude.
Total War Warhammer 3.
He basically, they told him that Geralt was gonna laugh after Roach gets decapitated. And exactly,
And he was
like,
like, dude.
that is not what Geralt would do. That is not Geralt's character.
And he probably knows because he's
Yeah, he's like-
Exactly, and then
He's
they
the
had a
biggest
falling out
nerd.
with the creative team.
Now
So,
Liam Hemsworth is doing it.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth's
Yeah.
brother.
Also, you that like Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Yes.
I played
Skyrim.
so much Skyrim.
So much Skyrim.
I had dragon blood armor, dude. I groaned.
Yo, dude,
Dragonbone.
Dragonbone.
Get your facts straight.
Dragonbone and Daedric armor.
Oh.
The Daedric armor was harder though.
The Daedric armor was so sick.
Dude.
There was no Daedra
Oh,
hearts,
dude.
bro. You know where I kept getting mine?
Where?
Kept stealing it from the College of Winter.
You
Just
know-
leave it on a plate there, bro.
You know what I did? There's like a
Like,
forge in Windhelm where you can like, if you sacrifice a couple things a day, it'll just spawn.
Oh yeah,
And you
no,
just
stab
get
them, but
murdered
You don't
them.
always get the heart.
You
though,
don't always
that's
get the
point.
heart. That's the one thing, but I really get to kill things.
The
I
people who
fucking
have played
love
this
that.
game, this is so relatable, and other
Yo.
people are like, what are they talking
What
about?
the fuck are they
So,
talking about?
like,
I'm
Skyrim
pretty sure
has
this
this-
is like religion level.
Yeah, Skyrim has like these leveling armor tiers. And then there's this really sick black and red looking armor with like really cool swords. Exactly, dude. That
There's
was the
a
worst
cheat
part.
around that as well, though. Is you
Console-
just make knives.
Oh yeah, you just make. Dude, I've seen so many memes. It's like, can somebody sell me iron knife?
Iron 11.
And you know, like these are basically the type of people that wanted to play the game like OG, didn't want to cheat, but also wanted to be like, what's the easiest way that I could possibly?
It was
beat
so hard
things?
not to just put God.
You
mode
see,
on.
I was
Dude,
the I was
I
the
played
kid.
it on Xbox.
Yo, dude, get wrecked. I played it for 180 hours on God mode when I was 12 because I was like, I'm too shit at this. I just want to have
I
fun
need
and
to
explore
survive.
the world.
I don't
It was
wanna
so
get
much
one
more
shot by
fun
a troll.
without that,
Yo.
bro.
It
Actually
was. I
grinding,
played it
bro.
again. Like,
Especially with the Dawn Guard DLC.
yo, dude, all the DLCs were good. Like,
I don't know, I only played the Dawn Guard one.
I did not play the others either. I just watched.
Yo,
I've seen
dude,
so
bring
much
a
Skyrim
fucking
content.
Chad ass werewolf, bro. Oh, Dragonlance, you
dude.
turn into a werewolf.
Oh,
and
wait,
you
like
beat its ass,
you can
bro.
either turn into a werewolf or a vampire. And
Yeah.
I mean,
play
you can
with the
choose
art.
not to be either.
Either, yeah.
Yeah,
Or you
and
can be
then-
both.
Mm.
Then the Dragonborn DLC, you could turn into a dragon. Not like a full dragon, but like elemental style of dragon. Yeah.
Fusroda.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. You went and you killed the first. I'm sorry, spoilers for a 15-year-old game or whatnot. You basically kill the first Dragonborn that has enslaved dragons using like an eldritch god. It's real fucking cool, dude.
Whoa. Like,
And
he
then-
didn't have enough problems with Alduin, bro. Goes and fights the first dragon.
He murders the first. Yo, dude.
I'm the next version.
Yo, bro, no.
You think you were strong? Oh. I'm the guy.
Yes, yes, the sweet roll.
The sweet
Turning
rolls.
Nazim into a sweet roll with that staff. You
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Yo.
Yo, there was so many freaking missions in that. Oh my god.
Spammed.
It was one of my most iconic moments.
I always spammed the doof sound in Skyrim when you found it.
I like trees too. Joy People's like, yes.
I haven't gotten bored.
I know what's going on. Shannon also doesn't play games.
Yeah.
They played the storyline 3 times. and I've gotten
Bruh,
bored.
meeting a human being that hasn't played Skyrim on Earth, bro.
There's
There's a
very
lot.
many.
Like we're
That's-
definitely a niche type of person.
Yo, also, one of my friends trolled the fuck out of me with Shadowmare because they were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's invincible." I just threw myself off a cliff and I died.
It comes back.
It does. You just have to go find it.
No, I think it pretty much spawns nearby.
Really?
you somewhere.
Mine
or,
died.
Or you find it at the shadow place.
I've never tried going back. I probably should have.
Just like my horse is forever gone.
It's gone, dude.
You know,
I'll find
it's,
another.
you know who concerns me is the people that play Skyrim with like realistic features and no fast travel.
Dude.
Yo,
People that
dude.
actually just
So-
run. They disable the cards, dude.
Dude, they did. Cards, you know the cards, they were supposed to move around and they couldn't implement it. So some modders did, and it's janky as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It just, the engine doesn't work that well for it. The other thing, mods, dude. Mods make
Yeah.
a game. If you ever plan on making a
Cyberpunk is
game...
completely open now, dude.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah,
actually.
dude. No, he means like mods.
Mod-
Mods
Yeah.
are open, yeah.
But like the thing is, dude, mods literally will fix your game. Because there are
It's
people...
Also, yeah, I think
They're
people
so
bank
smart.
on that sometimes, like especially for Total War Warhammer 3, for example. The amount of mods I've seen for that game that
Mhm.
just make it a trillion times funner.
Dude, and the thing is, like, I feel like what it does is you build your vision for the game, but you allow everyone that loves it to take that and make something
Make
out
it
of it.
cooler.
And it's so
It's
cool.
very
Make
to
it a
nice.
do.
platform
Yeah,
instead of
actually.
just a thing.
Yeah,
It allows for
exactly.
the game to evolve in such a beautiful way.
And pretty much exist indefinitely because
Dude.
as the old people leave, the new people come in and they make their own stuff. Dude, why do you think Minecraft is still so big? Because it's just a
Exactly.
sandbox
Yeah.
and you can do whatever you want.
You
There's a
boys
guy that
know-
built Minecraft and Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft. Like they're running computers in
Yeah,
Minecraft
dude, it's
blocks,
Turing
dude.
complete.
Dude, like it really is this trip of, as you were talking about the whole, for the next generations, there could be, I don't say there will be, but there could be a whole generation of versions of us that play Skyrim as if they're the actual Skyrim characters in VR, dude.
Yeah.
Like full, picking up like ripping a sweet roll apart in the game and like throwing, like imagine you're standing in a sweet roll, rolling it down and throwing it in someone's face, and they're like, "The fuck you do that for, oh?" And then you goes back to their side.
Have you seen some of the mods that people have made for Steam VR for Skyrim
Yeah,
VR?
like the graphics alone,
Dude.
it doesn't look like the same game. It's completely remodeled
Dude,
already.
and then so the new VR stuff with Skyrim is they were like, yeah, we're just gonna port it so you can use VR, and the modders were like, what the fuck, dude? So they've added in so much, dude. You have like full animated hands for picking up different things. Like it fully animates to whatever you want to pick up.
Eventually you'll feel it.
Dude, it's okay. Skyrim will be the thing that will be the highest peak of what we can do with tech. I fully
The
believe it.
metaverse isn't going to be just one thing. It's going to be access to things like that.
Did you guys see the new metaverse ad that they tried
A new-
shimming off one, dude?
Dude, like they're getting dumpstered so hard right now.
Yo, dude, it
Shame.
it looks like what I made my VR game looks like. And they spent, do you know, in 2021 they spent $3.2 billion on the metaverse.
Like there was this
Do you
voice
know why
critical
I
take
think
where
that's the case, bros? Because all of the smart actual engineers and designers that can make extremely cool virtual things. are
Left.
Just like,
Left.
I don't want to work for Facebook.
exactly,
Dude.
and it really is that where they were like Moise made this like kind of hot take that you could basically hire a team of like 8 people for $100,000 off of Twitter, and they'd probably make more progress in like a few months than the whole meta team has made over the last few years.
Dude, no, it is disgusting.
And it's they might be doing it intentionally. Maybe they're just like actually
Dude,
like.
It's
So-
like putting a team of
Dumpster.
juniors to do a task that
So,
a senior can
the
do.
very funny thing is I saw a notice that was sent out to it as an email to all the managers at Facebook, berating them that people aren't using the metaverse enough, and they have now made it mandatory that you have to spend 3 hours a week on the metaverse as an employee.
Oh.
It
You
is
get, you get paid for those hours though. So.
and you do, but they're
That's
forcing.
indoctrination, bro.
Dude,
like
it's literally they're forcing. I think it's 3 hours, and you have to spend 2 days. You can't do it over one.
Oh.
So, like, they're just like, it's so bad, not even the employees want to use it.
That's
It's
what
not
happens
ready,
when
dude.
You try to force something on
Exactly, and trying to force it, and on top we had this conversation trying to monopolize it. Like it's not yours, right? And that was their whole model. They kind of wanted to be first when it comes to this new technological revolution because they weren't first with smartphones, they weren't first with social media, they weren't first with the internet. So they were like basically utilizing this service, to sell ads in a very efficient way. And if the ads are kind of strapped to your face, and they are the only ones that has access to what they show you, what the advertisers gets to show you, that's just not a world anybody wants to be a part of.
The thing is, what is hilarious to me still about the Zuck is his inability to understand people.
Yeah.
He's
Zuck.
like,
The
dude,
Zuck.
what do you mean? Who's gonna buy it? It's like the funniest fucking thing is Ben Shapiro said this thing once where he's like, so they're asking him about climate change and like the rising waters. And he's like, so you know what people are gonna do that are in those places? They're just gonna sell their houses.
And move.
And the guy, there's this guy that pops in, he's like, to whom? Fucking Ben, tell me, to whom are they going to sell it? And it's the metaverse is the same, dude. Who's gonna buy it?
Dude, this whole like
Steam is
craze
more.
that went through where people were like gobbling up digital real estate, right? I understand that technically a URL to your website is the street address where you live on the internet. But the internet and the digital realm, you can just keep creating
Yeah,
things.
it's
Right?
It
From fractals
doesn't
and
have-
fractals.
dude,
You can have rooms larger than life inside of rooms larger than life.
And
inside
dude,
of
it's
rooms
the
larger than
NFT
life.
problem.
Or
Parameters.
that memory.
Yeah, but dude, the thing is though, storage is only a problem
You didn't even
as
store it.
long
It's
as we
live generated. Ooh, maybe that's it. Instead of having to recall, you just create it on the spot.
Yo, dude, you need
You still need the blueprint for that.
You are the blueprint for that, though.
That's what compression is all about. Is you have the blueprint of the thing and then you render it again.
What do you call memory and DNA?
You
though?
still have to store that somewhere, man.
It's stored on you.
He means the DNA.
You are the DNA. You are the storage. Oh.
Well, see, I feel like like either it's the bio we talked about, or when we eventually just get Jupiter brains, it doesn't matter that
You
much.
wanna
But you
Science?
don't need Jupiter brains.
You wanna science that shit, bro.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead,
to.
science that shit.
Dude, like, I
Good
mean,
lord.
this is who we are, right? We're a team of smart people, you know. We'll think.
I've
Imagine
already
if we keep
recruited
working
Johan,
on stuff
bro.
like that for the next 20 years.
I've already recruited Johan, motherfucker.
I'm kidding, dude. I was saying to him like yesterday that initially, you know, I feel like almost the whole point of this journey is to get the most powerful beings in the universe together to save the world.
Bro, Johan and I are cracking the love code.
Yo, dude, we'll try and make an AI. It'll
Have you
be
seen
hard.
Spiderhead? It's this
Sounds familiar.
this movie. Chris Hemsworth was in it. This
Yeah,
drug
I
trial.
didn't see it. I know about it.
I think it's worth the watch, dude.
Okay.
It's basically this movie diving into this world where they're testing this artificial, like almost like chemical pod on your back that you load with different substances, and then depending on how you want to feel on your app, you press a button and then you feel that
I
way.
watched it. Yeah, that
That's
was so
that's powerful.
so
but the way they kind of dive into the ethics, the morality of that whole
yeah, I will,
question.
if you want to go watch it, go watch it. I won't spoil the ending.
No, of
The
course not.
ending is spectacular. It was, dude, that like final couple scenes where they're like cut back to the boat and they just in the background and he's fucking titties, dude.
Too much.
Oh, dude, it's too much. You
Incapable.
can't. If that was, it's such a good take on as well of going too deep.
Yeah.
Like eventually you can't like go so far out of reality that you can't maintain your structure in reality, because like you exist on a very different fundamental basis without the differentiation of your body. Like yeah, you'd still be technically alive, but like you'd be as alive as this carpet.
Melting into infinity.
Yeah.
Instead of just stopping somewhere.
I'm just thinking of all of the optimization algorithms.
Brain is like
Where-
on fire right
around-
now.
No, I'm trying to picture like rendering real life human beings. To what detail do you need to render them? For example, all you just need is the top layer of their
I was literally thinking the
until
same thing.
they get injured, then you have to
Yeah.
render their
Yeah.
insides.
Then you can like do
that
a
would be
localized.
true optimization because it would be a hollow husk up until that point happens, and then you render that information.
Dude,
And
I
do you-
had the conversation. Sorry to
No,
interrupt.
please.
Please, you go first.
I know. So the thing that just gets me about it is our universe renders everything.
Everything, yeah.
Everything
At the same time.
at the same time, continuously, and it renders all possibilities across all of infinity all the time.
We're
So-
trying to replicate that shit, dude.
We're trying to replicate it, but I'm also thinking about the whole simulation theory where couldn't it be again this quantum thing where as soon as you try to observe something, it becomes rendered right in front of you, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like it would
Absolutely.
make existing on a planet as a render process
like absolutely. It's well
There are
very
limits to this space, though.
to this one.
Yeah.
What?
Like light travels at the speed of light.
Yeah. Okay.
It's true.
That is true. There are limitations. The funny thing is, also, I remember there's this thing that says nothing. Wait, this guy tries to explain what Joe is. The first thing he says is, "Yeah, we lied to you about light, or about the constant, because the constant just represents things in the universe, but the universe itself expands faster than light.
Yeah.
So like the universe itself is faster
Significantly
than
faster
light,
than light.
but nothing can go through light. And the funny thing though, again, theoretically it's possible to go faster than light. Like we don't know how to do it, but if
Mathematically, we can say.
but if you go faster than light, you literally like turn into quantumized radiation that just like
With
nukes
math.
everything, dude.
It is it's a self-curving sphere, you know, where in the same way you can technically as a human being walk for infinity, and you would eventually think that you walked into a straight line for infinity, but you will come right back where you were. And the same thing is happening with the universe. And that circle is expanding, but also curving onto itself.
If you were to speed up the perception of time, for example, is you would see the Big Bang happen, then the universe going to heat death, and then it collapses into itself, then it happens again. But now let's go even faster, where the Big Bang is just happening
Like an oscillation, like a
again and again until it's a straight line. And then where's that straight line?
Or imagine that straight line as like a beam, and then you zoom into that beam and it's light, and then from that light is noise, and from that noise,
Another universe.
no, you
Another
now.
Big Bang.
You come out of the light.
You step out like, oh.
You know, dude,
What's this
it's
now?
it's so crazy. And then like the thing that Kyrgyzstan video also taught me is to have an appreciation for how massive we are. Like I have that every time like a bug. So Christmas beetles have been annoying the fuck out of me recently because they're
No, they've been
so
assaulting me.
stupid, dude. Holy fuck. Like imagine you to try and go like funny enough it's the way we do it and I think aliens are looking at us going holy fuck these guys are stupid, they have to trial by error. But like the way a beetle figures out where it is flying into a wall over and over and over until it figures out how to go out or dies. Now the thing that I was thinking about is that entire process is being done by like a ballpoint pen the size of brain. And then
Yeah,
I
that's
think
efficient,
about
too.
how big my fingernail is and my thumb compared to a beetle, and then look at your brain, and then think about how many atoms your brain is. Dude, it's kind
We
of.
have big brains.
We have massive
Our brains use 20 to 25% of all of our body's energy.
a little. I think. Oh,
25 to 20 to 25% of all of this. And it still uses like 9 watts. That's the crazy thing as well.
oh yeah, dude, it's so efficient.
9
Holy
9
fuck.
watts.
It's. I don't know what the number
Who
is,
needs
but.
electricity?
9 watts is like, you know, in
Dude.
comparison to the amount of servers we're using, you know, this thing's just like up to petawatts.
You
actual
will know,
petawatts,
dude. We're
like
making
millions
mega,
of watts.
you will-
So and they can't even get close to rendering human
I
consciousness.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
this
The
thing
amount of
is.
electricity we need to pump into keeping our servers alive, and they have to stay alive
And-
because so many systems rely on them.
Dude, it's astounding how efficient your brain is. Like it is beyond what we can comprehend. Like, and the thing is, it was, as far as we can tell, just random. Things just kept evolving out of other things and other things and other things, and then one day something went, what if I became smarter?
Chaos theory. It is chaos.
It is. And even the like,
The
that,
universe is chaos.
so there's,
we're the ones that define order within this chaos, bro.
so you know
That's
there's,
a very rare case.
you know there's the theory of, man, what is it?
Theory of everything.
No, man.
That's also where my
fuck.
mind went.
Relative.
What's the thing you say
Gravity.
when things go bad? Or like where something that happens and you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
For some reason, it's gone from my brain
not,
as well.
Not deprecation.
What the hell?
Dude, how
One
the
of our
fuck?
brains is like, no,
Entropy.
no, it's not even entropy.
It's not. It's the person. It's
Murphy's
like
law?
Murphy's law.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there we go.
So Murphy's law actually states that everything tends towards chaos if nothing is put in order. That's what it. That's the like actual
If
mathematical
something
proof.
can go wrong,
It will, but it
and
does.
if it can go wrong worse, another
Exact
time, we'll wait
everything.
for that
If
time.
you leave everything alone and you don't touch it, it tends towards chaos. It is humans that step in and order, which is very, very interesting. And like anything living really orders. We are the gods. Literally, dude. Like you talk, and I understand, and we take reality.
Oh, dude, can I read something about language for you guys?
Yes.
Man. While you search for it, I was having this thought about, you know, I've already lost it. It's gone again.
The
You
infinity
don't have
took
enough
it.
servers in your brain.
Yeah.
Dude,
The
like this,
infinity took it,
it's
bro.
too much information right now.
Dude, just it's the same thing with just how much shit's around you, how
Yeah,
much
really.
processing. Yeah.
Language. I am a god, for I give all meaning. My body, an ever-changing expanse of newborn ideas and dead mysteries. You cannot see me, but you believe, because I'm the one chaining your thoughts. I'm the one whispering behind your eyes. I craft the means for the death of your loneliness. I pave your memories with my veins of sentences. I give your existence a name and forge your stories for the future. I let you perceive the universe and give purpose to your dreams. My eyes are blind and my ears are deaf, yet with the overwhelming significance of a thought, I twist and turn reality into shapes the living may consume, and even when all is dead and gone, I will walk through the cosmos eternal.
Christian, you know what today's stream topic was?
I did read it. Shit.
Life. The
Uh,
thinker, living the thought.
mm.
That's nice.
Your pose slapped on that point, dude.
Mhm.
My brain.
We're talking about thoughts, right?
Yes.
Try to follow this if you
Okay.
can. Alright? I thought of the thought I had that triggered the thought of thinking of that thought, thoroughly thoughtful of its thought-provoking thinking, thundering through the thoughtless pauses between my thoughts to reach the new thought that would make me think of the thought that came before the thought, and thought of the thought that should follow that would allow me to keep thinking of the original thought that made me so thoughtful about the thought of thoughts theorizing through it all.
There was a couple layers there. I got lost.
I was
I
thinking.
get lost every time.
I was so thinking about that, yes.
I got like 6 layers deep, and then I couldn't anymore.
Like I actually
Yo,
I had
dude.
these moments where I was referencing the way I was thinking when the first thinking was going. I was like, wait a second.
While trying to keep the reference all throughout of the previous.
Oh, dude. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Very neat, dude.
that was one of the like.
Quantum.
And then this dude goes, yesterday, talking about he should publish his poems. Yeah, one day I'll be good at poems and then I'll publish, he says, or something like that. I'm like, okay.
Bro, I'm still young.
Okay, this
Yeah,
I'm still
dude,
young.
keep them all, and one day
I
just
have
make a
to
book.
improve.
You're doing well, dude.
And I'm not exactly dedicating my entire 24-hour a day.
Oh,
this.
yeah, you should be, getting one of those whips and whipping yourself.
It's
oh,
bad,
not
bro.
only
There are
20,
people
all
that
24
go and
hours.
study this stuff.
I shouldn't be sleeping,
And then they
eating.
also have a talent for it. They studied it, they have a talent for it, and they spend their day doing this sort of things. I gotta compete with this.
So-
you haven't done any of that, and you're still like.
Remember that
people
book
do.
I was telling you about, the magician that I really liked, that I said you should read? It's in the like acknowledgements, it starts and the guy's like, yeah, I rewrote the book for this is the 3rd iteration, because when I originally wrote it in 1995, I was working as an accountant and I was part-time writing, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I just wanted to put a story down, and now he has like 5 bestsellers. So like you don't need to have studied it. You just need to be dedicated enough to know what you're doing.
And you can publish now, even if it's not the best stuff, and then you can get criticism, good criticism,
Go out there
and then you can
embarrass myself.
and then you can upgrade, and
Okay.
you can upgrade, and you can
So-
upgrade.
I submitted my research report to a conference, so we'll see if they like accept it, and if they do, I have to go talk in front of scientists about my research report. If I can do that, you can publish your poems.
Yeah, that's and then he has more than enough. Like that's the hardest
Wow.
part, Christian. That's like 2 books, dude. 2 published books. Easy peasy.
No.
It's more than enough, Christian. It's
Fill
just,
up your entire
it's
house.
just about
There we go.
Biting
Fill up
the
my
bullet.
entire house, then I can start thinking about that stuff.
the entire house.
the entire place.
That's when people walk in, they're a little freaked out.
Yeah, no, dude, that's
They're like,
just
aha,
poems.
this dude is crazy.
Crazy, bro.
I probably need to make the best ever excuse because he will see through my lies.
Great.
Oh goodness. Is the guy sitting next to Mount a scientist? Yes, he is.
Yes,
he is.
He's an actual freaking computer
Computer
scientist. Like imagine normal scientist. Oh yeah, mutter, put chemicals on. Oh, exploding on. That's how they could science. This dude does it on the next level of existence.
He matrixes.
He actually is a freaking gangster. Thank you for asking, Nachi. What
I
a cool
appreciate it.
question. It's so nice to have your friend still here.
Yo, there's so many.
Sena, thank you, dear friend Nova. A book of poems would be a perfect start for publishing. We have Cable who did it, dude. Cable has already done it. He has a book published. So
I'm proud of
He's
that.
younger than
I'm
you.
glad people like
I'm-
that exist.
He's not better than you. He's just believing in himself. Something that doesn't require constant effort and overthinking. You can write bits and pieces, and it will still come out as poetry. You go, dude. Your words are poetry, Christian.
Everyone wants you to do it.
Yeah, dude.
Look, they're calling you a little bitch.
You'll have at least one seller, or like person advisor, dude. At least one.
At least
You know what?
You know why? Because I'll buy
You
one.
know what I really appreciate about myself, Estian, is that the entire fucking
Yeah.
world in unison can tell me to do something, and I will do what I feel like doing.
Yeah, good.
Holmes, I'm just thinking about all the people.
I love the encouragement, and I appreciate it.
I'm not thinking about you, I'm thinking about the people, Christian.
people.
They'll get to read those beautiful words,
Oh.
they'll get to feel something. You see? You see, now I'm pointing, I'm like pushing buttons on his brain. He's like, oh, he makes a fucking point. Damn it, no.
Dude, if I were you, I'd just find out how much publishing is. Do it.
It's not that expensive.
It's not gonna be that
It's
bad.
not that
I'll
expensive.
tell you what, guys. I'll open a Patreon. You can go read it there. You can donate if you want to.
That's not a bad idea.
100%.
Yeah, do that, dude. You've published it. You've self-published. Easy.
Self-published.
Yeah.
How about that? Is that fine? Is that sufficient?
You already started making those backgrounds, you know?
That is true. Those were effort.
I could
Well, then what? Effort.
I could potentially help you as well, dude. I could make you flowers, and then you could publish underneath that flower. You can make your own flowers. Huh? You want to start making flowers, Christian?
That sounds so gay.
You want to start making flowers?
Yeah.
I've been making so many flowers,
Yeah.
Christian.
He does.
Christian embodies a poet. I told you, your words are like art.
And does
No one knows.
Who said
He
that?
does know that you can hear his poems.
Who said that?
Joy Vive bought Cable's book. Cable, an Indian god,
Yeah.
literally created something out of chaos, manifested a book of poems. And then Joy Vive manifested that book of poems into her environment. That's the world we live in right now, Christian. You don't want that? Huh? You scared of your power?
I'm not
God.
ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Then you are not ready. Then you wait.
It's true. I feel that completely because I'm trying to do the same thing today, right? And I'm gonna make prints of my art. So I have the same anxiety. Believe me.
I have no anxiety. I'm just not ready yet. I'm not afraid.
Christian realized we have all been listening when he reads a poem. Yeah, dude. He's like, it's not ready yet. Proceeds to read multiple pages of poetry.
And then share the Patreon link, Christian. I'll be there. So say
Oh.
shout out.
You see, my
First Patreon
my
support,
entire
man.
goal is to get Estian extremely famous.
And then
sell
just
my
back.
poetry through him.
Bro, I'm
like,
happy. I'm
Yeah,
gonna use him as well, dude. He
your
does the
friends are
effort
coming
and we
with
just
me.
yoink it.
Exactly. And like, you know,
We're
I'm just
just
imagining
shamelessly use his powers.
this
bro.
backpack, you know, and like just like these Uber legs climbing the mountain. You know, it's like, yeah, add yourself, add your hook, just slide in the mountain. Yo, let's go! Go!
Let's go, dude. I'll start climbing with you, bro.
Climbing the mountain, dude.
Also, something that I recently learned that was so crazy to me when I learned for the first time was, do you know that if in in rock climbing, the reason you alternate between like points is because friction gets ridiculous the longer your rope gets. If you get to 100 meters, you're pulling 80 kilograms of friction.
Oh, that's true.
Which I never thought about, but I watched this guy almost kill himself trying to just climb 1.5 meters, pulling all of the rope along all the carabiners that he had. And it was so sick to me to learn that. Dude, stuff's cool.
Yeah,
I was thinking about.
I mean, I've kind of like been thinking about it in the context of having to pull water pumps out of the ground.
Yo.
Yeah, because that is inverse, so it's filled with water all the way down. So it's like,
Yo.
like moving it like little
Inch,
inches
dude.
at a time, and then it gets larger and larger and larger. It's it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm not a mathematician. Math and computer science is pretty much the same thing. Maths is instructions written down, code is instructions for a computer. They're literally
One
the
is
same thing.
one is more useful than the other in the age we're heading into.
Yeah. Well, they're the same thing.
We're gonna have AI mathematicians though.
So
and
it's
they'll
just-
probably be better at math than any
You're
math
dude, yeah,
scientist that's
absolutely.
listening.
If you, probably. But like, so there's a thing in computer science called formal aspects, and basically it's taking any computer science aspect and proving it mathematically. So they're the same thing. I just didn't do like the heavy maths. I did pretty heavy maths, but yeah.
You are a genius, so
Thank you. I don't think so myself.
take that from me.
There are a lot of
I've
smart
been trying
people.
to tell him a very long time.
Yeah. Someday we'll believe each other. Or we'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'm not a
Estian.
piece of shit. You're a fucking still live, man. Still live. I think it's the first 2 hour stream in a long
I
time.
know I love you, bro.
I know you love me, dude. I'm just convinced and dedicated to making sure you know I love you.
You know
too.
there are multiple different types of intelligences. out there.
Yes.
There's like 9 or 7 different types of intelligence.
The Einstein quote: "If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will grow up believing it's stupid." The fish still has like puberty to go through, you know. It's the whole multiple intelligences, dude. We all are succeeding at different niches, and I believe that if you spend enough time in doing the thing, like embedding yourself in the fractal that you're in, you know, getting into that crack of the universe,
The
you'll
funniest thing
reach
is
a point
watching
where you can help.
someone judge someone on a single form of intelligence, and then thinking themselves smarter than the other person.
Me and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's chess. God,
Chess?
I fucking suck at chess.
Oh, chess! You're not good at chess? I haven't played enough chess to know if I'm even good at chess, dude.
No, I know very well that I'm adequate. I haven't spent enough time at it from testing. Do you know who is fuck good at chess?
Keelan?
No, Adam.
Adam is
Adam
really good at
is
chess.
a prodigy at chess, dude.
Adam has been playing chess for a long time.
Dude, he's a 2000 rated person.
And he
dude.
also watches a lot of games, so he's like pulling more
likes
frats.
chess.
over-
Yo,
I've never
dude.
like I was watching this dude watch chess, you know, and I was like, he spends like literal 4 hours a day just watching other people play chess, and I was like, I understand, but I don't understand.
No, the thing is, dude.
Like, there's a point where it
Wait.
reaches for me. Sorry,
No,
man.
no,
It's
go,
not
go, go,
supposed
go.
to make sense to you.
I know that's the thing, dude. Like, that's just how his brain works. You get better at chess by playing more games, seeing more games. That's literally how chess works. Baba Nova.
Bye, Nova.
Large cranium. Sorry, friends, if this has been a lot. It was nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Do you want to share something?
Yeah, that's chilled.
Please.
I want to find the Nakamura thing of him pre-planning something.
Where like works
In
at the moves in
chess.
his head.
No, it is one of the most ridiculous things you will ever bear witness to. I just watch this. I'll share it. Watch this.
What's the difference? Wait, so here, 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 and you win by 1 move. Now you go here, 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 here.
You're thinking
here,
about
here,
multiple
here, here, here,
different
here,
games
here,
ahead.
Here,
Mhm.
here, here,
I
here.
can't do.
Grandmaster,
I
like
don't.
second best
My
in the
brain
world.
doesn't work this way, dude.
Wait a second. What's the difference?
Watch.
He's like looking in different caverns in his brain, dude.
Dude, I'll send the link on the YouTube when you're done so people can go view it. But it's
You've seen the controversy, right?
dude, yeah, I have. We can talk
I actually
about
don't
that
know what the
later.
move is. Both moves win, I think.
Yeah, it's a
No,
just
And then he like chooses one of the moves.
I see.
I don't understand. Both moves win.
He's so confused, dude. And he's like, he's 13 moves ahead here, 14 moves ahead. It's ridiculous to me. Can I just like?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I
think
see.
it needs
I
that
bet.
focus, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
It's
My
okay.
RAM is limited in that
But
factor.
you know, dude, there's another one of him like going through like 28 plans, and then he's like, I don't know which moves something else. Because no, dude, that game is one of the most ridiculous games ever. If you are good at chess, you are one of the smartest people in the world. And then I also how like complex video games are. Like chess has an obsession with moves, but it's It's like
It's trivial in comparison
it's
to
kind of trivial. Like
RPG
dude, Dota.
game. Dude,
Bro.
the 115 different heroes at this point, the
Yo.
thousands of different items,
The abilities,
different
dude.
combinations of heroes,
Dude,
different
and
combinations
then
of people against each other.
The funniest thing is
That's why I loved it so much,
Dude, and then we took an AI, trained it on itself for I think we ran 30 million games against itself.
Dude, I
and
was
it,
there for the TI that clapped Debbie
dude,
for the
it
first time.
clapped the fuck out of
Like
that
a
protein.
1v1 mid, you know, the best mids that humans had. Every single one of them got clapped so
Dude.
fast they were all like embarrassed.
Dude, and then they played a team game, and it played so well that they started using it to coach them.
Yeah.
Because dude, no, that was
Just imagine that, dude. Oh, I put it down for now. Thank you so much, Holmes. Thank you, friends, for joining us today. It was so nice to have you here.
Yeah.
So much love to you, Susanna and Shana, Sena, Nova. You're probably
Goodbye.
not here anymore. Lane, I don't know if you're still here. We'll play a card before we leave, just to see what the universe has to say through sacred geometry. Look at them things.
What?
You see that bomb-looking thing under the cover?
Yeah.
We got a UPS finally, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know, and it was a joke almost. Yesterday, we were like basically saying, you know, we can literally have like power outages for a week and we'll still have internet.
Dude.
With that thing. And I was like, that's good. That makes my brain happy.
Dude,
And
it's
then
not-
the internet proceeded to stop working for an hour and a half. It was like, I was just like, of course. Yeah, universe.
We
Oh,
had
yeah.
lights, but no Wi-Fi. You very quickly learn what's important in life.
It's Wi-Fi, dude.
It lights, sure. Let's see what the universe has to say. Oh, dude, infinite wisdom. This is the card we first pulled when we were on that mushroom trip at the copy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite wisdom. And it's these beautiful, what do they call them? Secretions. Creatures of the sea. What, just
Crustaceans.
I don't think crustration. Like
It
there's
is
secretions.
crustaceans.
There's a word secretion as well, I
I'm gonna
believe.
Google that while you-
Let's see if it. I think they might put it in here.
Let's go. I'm gonna stop Googling. I don't care.
Communicate. Denizens of the.
Secretion.
That's the word. Cetaceans.
Yeah, cetaceans.
Cetaceans. Sorry. Not cray.
Interesting.
Tay. Cetaceans. Denizens of the sea. And I was like, yeah, sick word. Okay, so wisdom keepers, infinite wisdom. Whales are denizens of the deep, caretakers of oceanic wisdom,
Oh,
and
whales.
record keepers. Are you wearing a whale? Oh, he's wearing dolphins.
No, it's whales.
Whales?
It is blue whales.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that is synchronicity. Oh, that's really cool. You want to go and show the friends?
Okay.
That
Look at my
that's
chest.
so too crazy. Look at this man's chest. He has little whales on it, and you have two. That's a mom and a calf, right? Look at the imagery, dude.
Get the fuck
A mom and a calf.
There we
Look
go.
at the mom. Yeah, see, that's so cool. Bro, wisdom keepers. They communicate by means of song, stories, and telepathy. Whales remember how to travel with grace and movement over thousands of miles, following ancient migration routes. The four horizontal figure eights, or Mobius strips, suggest that there is wisdom greater than time and depth. It is infinite wisdom. Pulling this card could find you seeking a measure of wisdom to help you comprehend the situation. Something does not make sense, and you are having difficulty understanding why events are occurring as they are. Quiet your thoughts and allow your consciousness to float in this fluid blue ocean. Tune in to the wisdom that the humpback mother and calf embody. You may want to trace an infinity symbol on your forehead, on your palm, or move your hands in a flowing eight figure to help you connect with the infinite wisdom. Telepathically plug into the records kept by the magical cetaceans. Ask the infinite source to offer you the wisdom you require to bring great understanding to your thoughts. If your inquiry is not one of confusion, this card confirms that you are indeed in touch with the insight and good judgment. And you may be assured that your decisions will be sound. Celebrate your own wisdom.
I like the card.
Gang, gang. Yow! Infinite wisdom. The universe listens. Thank you, dear friends, for listening with me. Yay, I made it to one live. Kurt, here, now, to receive your own infinite wisdom, friend. We were talking about how the infinite wisdom, like this infinity, right? The faster and faster until it gets to a single line. It's your wisdom. This infinity is what you believed was the wisest thing for you in this now, right? Here you are, experiencing order. A stable body in chaos. Celebrate yourself.
Stable body with free will.
That's the thought,
With
bro.
autonomy, bro. We can get up and
Whatever the
move.
fuck I
You can
want.
come and stab us right now, dude. Stop thinking about it.
Can I end the stream on something? Are we
Please.
done?
Please,
Are we done?
no, please.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump the gun,
No,
but
of course.
something I have recently been thinking about a lot, and I think it is one of the most important things, is to remember that in anything and everything at any given point, you have full control over what you do in the situation. You can do it is fully your choice to do anything and everything you're doing. Even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it, you are making the choice to have the thing influence you to make the decision. Everything boils down to the choice you make in the moment. And it is totally under your power to make the choice.
And sometimes it seems like you're brainwashing yourself, and you gotta have that conversation with yourself.
You're
You gotta
choosing
say,
your thoughts. dude.
Okay, we either brainwash ourselves,
Oh, we
or we don't and not do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, or not achieve the goal. And it's like, I guess we gotta brainwash ourselves because we want the goal more.
Yeah, dude, like, it's yeah.
It's an ebb and a flow.
Yeah.
And then
More
you're
infinite
like,
wisdom.
you know what? Fuck that goal. I'm not doing this right now.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do with that is I've said it a couple times, but I like just taking a go and just put it on the shelf.
Mm. It's not gone.
You don't leave it.
I'll get
it's
back
there.
to it.
I'll get back to it at
I've
some
got other
point.
shit going on
Yeah.
right now. I'll
You
get
can
back.
always climb that mountain later, dude. It doesn't go anywhere. You can always come back and do it.
And like there's a beautiful Marcus Aurelius quote that like he says, instead of thinking about the past or having done it in the future, doing it when you feel is the right time to do it is the right time to do it. Right? That is where rightness arises.
Dude, those are powerful words.
With you, dear friends, thank you, dear friends, for joining me actually for the
Dude.
stream. Like the way that you entered was almost like a gesture, right? Like the psychedelic fractal manifesting and you're with us.
Wow.
Love you, Christian.
I love you too,
Thank you,
brother.
friends. He sent you a kiss. Every single one of you was like, it was so nice.
Thank you so much.
So much love to you, dear friends. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
I'll see you again very soon.
Bye.
Tomorrow, here again. Goodbye.